welcome back. So today is our third day for the night shift from Monan together with Mark and also Ralph. Yeah, and yesterday I wasn't there, but today I'm back. Yeah. All right. So tonight the night shift we have a slightly different menu. Yeah. Can you explain about the menu?
Yeah. So we're still keeping the Carolina and the Beagle Speedster, but we changed out the other two. One being Bing, which is named after Ralph's sister. It's his drink. It's pineapple based with bourbon, but what we did is we used Amaro Montenegro to give it a bit of bitterness, as well as we used a salted lime juice.
Okay.
Because in the Philippines, what we like to do when we eat pineapples, we put a little salt just to enhance the sweetness of the pineapple.
Right.
All right, and then for the next drink, we made the Bonita Nusantara, which is pretty much my take on a whiskey sour and a pina colada combined together.
Yeah, I have a question for this. Why is Nusantara? Because Nusantara is very Indonesian image.
Yeah, because actually my first home here in Malaysia was called Duta Nusantara.
Oh, okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, Nusantara means islands, right?
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do is combine my world and Malaysia's,
Okay.
which is why Bonita, which is very Spanish influence, means beautiful.
Okay.
So the drink essentially translates to beautiful islands.
Nice. Wow. There's a very deep thought behind when you design the cocktail, right? Yeah. And not to forget, shout out for 𝑾𝐽𝐫 for hosting us for this night shift. Yeah. So we done with the 𝐈𝐴, and then we also doing in the 𝑾𝐽𝐫 here, right? And always we have a very good relationship with the CK, the owner of this bar. All right. So let's have a look inside. Mark, can you?
Mark, we are back to Manila again. Wow, it was a very tired trip for you, but I'm sure that it's gonna be a very exciting, memorable trip for you as well. Yeah. So we have actually planned for a guest shift, but end up with there's a 3 shift for you.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was, it was a really special experience, especially since it was Ralph's first time in KL, but for me it was kind of like a homecoming, essentially.
Right.
So,
he used to, stay in Malaysia for how long?
Around 5-6 years.
5-6 years.
Yeah.
Great.
So-
Yeah. Talk a little bit about your experience in the guest shift. Yeah.
Guest shift, you know, I never experienced KL's bar scene growing up, so it was super cool to see how it is. It was also see the different techniques and the different methods that people use, especially because I've heard a lot of Malaysian bartenders, they used to bartend either the UK or Singapore, and what they do, they go back home, bring things they learned there, and apply it with local ingredients that they had, which I thought was super interesting as well. And you could see that in the bars that we visited, or I did a guest shift at, like at 𝙈𝙊𝙉𝙁, 𝘾𝙪𝙥, or visiting other bars like 𝙈𝙁𝙁𝙁, Jungle Bird. Just seeing all the different bartenders as well, and just like talking to them, exchanging information, learning from them as well was just super cool.
Great. Yeah. So in the 3 guest shift, is there any different that you've been experienced in this particular these 3 different bar?
Yeah, so each bar just had their own different vibe. For example, 𝙈𝙁𝙁 was more of a very intimate style of bar, more rustic feeling, where the guest is up close and personal to you. You could really talk with them. At the Vault, it's more of a fast-paced, high-volume bar. Something that's more similar into the style of the Spirits Library.
With a DJ there,
with
and
a
everyone
DJ,
party, everyone dancing in the floor.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's just having a good time.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And then you have something like 𝑾𝐽𝐫𝑪, which is a bit more, I wouldn't say formal, but you know, it's all about just putting on a show for a guest, making sure that your guest is having a good time as well. Especially since your bar station is like very, I would say, exposed. Like the guests can see everything that you're doing, so everything you have to do at 𝑾𝐽𝐫𝑪 has to be on point.
Yes.
So
Understand.
Yeah, like it was cool to see those 3 different styles of bartending.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was unforgettable, and just, you know, I will deeply miss Malaysia essentially after doing those guest shifts.
I mean, definitely we are happy if you want to come back or shift or anything again, you know. Right. So speaking of that 3 bars, I'm happy that these 3 bars have been curated in a different way, because they understand the different group of clients. Yeah. So 𝑾𝐽𝐫𝑪, they can go for slightly a little bit upper class, right? More classy, and the drinks there is gonna be more spirit forward, right? People love the kind of drink, different group. And for Vault, you know, something people like more party, and in the same time you can have a very good drink, very good cocktail. And then you have 𝙈𝙁𝙁𝙁, where something more rustic, more chill, right? So you want to wear a shot, go for cocktail, you can go for 𝙈𝙁𝙁𝙁, you know?
Exactly.
So and then, so what about the very first day that you arrived in Malaysia, and then after that, we went for a good dinner.
Right.
Then the next morning, when you arrived in MONIN Asia HQ, how do you feel that, like, with the thing that we brought you to the factory visit as well?
Yeah.
And the studio there. Yeah.
So like, the moment you step into the MONIN studio, like, I knew you guys had a lot of flavored syrups, but walking into the room and seeing them all arranged on the wall was crazy, to say the least. Like, I saw flavors that I didn't think you could turn into syrups in the first place, but it was still there.
We do.
And that was super cool. And then you guys gave us the opportunity to check out as well the factory. I think this is the first time I've ever actually stepped inside a industrial sized factory with the whole, like, you know, safety gear setup whenever people are visiting. And I cannot emphasize enough how good the factory smelled. Because I think that day you brought us in, you guys were making a vanilla flavored syrup that day. So just the whole place just smelled like sugar, vanilla, but just also the quantity that you guys make as well on a daily basis is just ridiculous.
Yes. So thanks for bringing me back to a very first day that I stepped into MONIN studio and the factory as well. For me, it's a syrup factory, right? We understand that. back then I used to be a bartender, so I know how we prepare and how we make our homemade syrup. But when I step in, it's like what you're sharing with me just now it's totally blew my mind, like how amazed of the whole factory produced tons and tons of liters of syrup, where back then I just prepare in back of the house in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's like I relate myself. I prepare in the kitchen, and this is a huge factory, and how they break it down every single step to make sure everything is top to the point and look after on the quality, and to produce all the syrup and supply, distribute to the market. For bartender and barista to use it, this is something that really amazed me. Yeah. And then what about Charles?
It was great to meet him, you know, finally.
Shout out to Charles.
Exactly. The guy is he's such a joy to be around.
Yeah.
And the fact that like he also delayed an event just so he could shoot the video and put it onto was super cool. But after tasting his drink especially, you 100% understand why he deserved to be the Banana Cup champion for Malaysia. And what was super cool as well is that not only did he show up for the video shoot, but then he showed up for the last guest shift at 𝐾𝐽 as well. Just introduced me to a couple people, and you know, it was just nice. I wasn't how to say it. We also met like the other, like second place and first runner up as well in Malaysia too, which is super cool. Like Odds, he helped hook us up with the shift at the Bulk. And then Trasha was there at pretty much almost all the guest shifts too, which like I know how the Philippine scene is when it comes to bartending. Like the community can be quite close, but I didn't realize in Malaysia it was almost borderline the same with how like bartenders always support each other.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
This is what I see bartender, barista also. Yeah, they're very supportive for each other, and to keep pushing and motivate each other to achieve their goal faster. Yeah. And the competition, alright, have brought a very nice experience for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 100%. Just the competition, like during the competition, because this was my first professional one, was just unreal. I think when I was actually there at Agimat, the downstairs prep area, you know, it's just me in my formal attire, just walking back and forth throughout the first floor. I think I clocked in around almost 2 kilometers just walking back and forth in that place.
Because you're nervous?
Yeah, so nervous. But then the moment, you know, I went upstairs, go to the stage, all that nervousness turned into like an adrenaline just for me to basically perform.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd like to say it paid off, you know.
It paid off.
Yeah.
It paid off. Yeah. All the sweat.
Yeah, all that
All
sweat.
the heartbeats.
Yeah. I mean, up until like the night before the competition, I was like panicking. How do I do this? At that point, like.
But you're doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing well.
So, you know, it's just the competition was great. The experience I had because of the competition was amazing as well. You know, if I could, I wish I could go back in time and just relive it all again once more.
Or anything that you want to improve from that?
Anything that I want to improve? Let's see. Probably just, you know, manage my time when it came to preparing for the like, just practicing as well. Because I noticed, like, for me, on the last day, I was still trying to perfect things. If I space things out better, so I wouldn't be so stressed on the last day. Like I'd like before the competition, you should be, you know, preparing the minimum amount, more on resting and just relaxing yourself. Just because you don't want to stress yourself out the night before the competition. I think because of that, I only got like 4 hours of sleep the night before the competition. Just my mind was just racing. But yeah, that sleep deprivation was definitely worth it.
No worry, this will be the good experience. Yeah, it will be a good experience. Yeah. So speaking of that, I'm glad that you share this out, because as a winner, you still understand that which part of yourself have to be improved.
Oh,
yeah. So this is something that I mean, we would like to share with everyone also. No matter you are a winner or you are not a winner. So improve is, I would say, the key for you to sustain and also being at the top and the front in every industry. Yeah, especially for our beverage industry, for bartender and barista. And then, is there any words for our friends, for the community that you want to share and talk about MONIN Cup?
Yeah, so especially in our industry, you're gonna face challenges over and over again. Even when you think, oh, you just figured out how to do something, a new problem's gonna come up, and you're gonna have to think about how to solve that problem. And you know, you could also think about that with life as well. A lot of challenges will come up, but rather than think of them as problems, you could think of them as obstacles to the goal that you want to achieve eventually later down the line. So don't worry if things are hard now, especially when it comes to like bartending. It will work out eventually, but you have to put in the work as well. Don't give up, and good things will happen eventually.
Right, yeah. And do you think competition is important for you? Especially like when you are in the industry for, you want to push yourself to somewhere else, or you want to perform, or you want to show something for the community, for the people around you. How important is a competition?
Competition, I would say, when it's done in a healthy way, is very important. Because a competition lets you know where the industry is at the moment regarding to what techniques are being used now, what's trending. But it also is good for you personally because you at least know where you stand in terms of your strengths, but also in your weaknesses as well. So the competitions will help you realize what you are good at and also what you need to improve on too. And with that, of course, if you win, you will reap some benefits, but also it's not always about winning. It's also about just forming connections as well with your fellow competitors, getting to know other people in the scene, especially with the MONIN Cup, where mentors played a very big role in the competition as well, and just getting to know some would say industry legends as well, and just getting knowledge from them too, but also taking their knowledge and applying your take so that you create something new essentially as well. I think it's very important for competitions to happen still in this industry.
Great, thanks. So for this year, for MONIN competition is slightly different, We don't do cocktail for this year, but this year we have creative coffee. So it's called MONIN Creative Coffee Cup. For 2023. So I'm sure that there's a lot of friends, bartender and barista are looking at it, So any words for them, like, you know, for them to have the same experience like what you have?
Yeah, just join. If you have the opportunity, even if you feel like you're a bit scared, use that fear, channel it as adrenaline to give yourself some courage to join. Because honestly, the MONIN Cup was one of the best things to ever happen to me, and you know, if only everyone could experience what I did, and you know, who knows, you probably could if you joined the competition and win. So hopefully I'll see you. When's the competition again?
We are looking at after June. After June. Alright, so remember to sign up. Alright, we're looking forward you to have a great performance in our MONIN Cup. Every MONIN Cup, it can be the following years. You know, if you want to join the cocktail, you can go for the following years. We have MONIN Cocktail Cup again. So thank you so much. Right, I'm gonna see you around. Okay.
Definitely.
And thanks for company with us with such a good journey. We always look for someone that really interesting. And someone can represent the bar industry to always share the same good journey with us. Alright, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jason.
See you.